Well, thanks again. Thank you for joining me, Steve Cochran, on Live from My Office, sponsored by Team Hochberg, David Hochberg. He just wants to save you some money. And here we are in the middle of the holiday season, and you're so busy. But the cool thing about this little podcast is you could have your AirPods in your ears right now. Maybe you got a full set of headphones on, the big bulky kind I used to wear. Whatever the case may be, you can listen to this on the go in ways you never could when I was on the radio. So I appreciate you making the effort, even if you're just flopped on your couch right now. Because if I was just talking to myself, this show would really be a waste of my time. A little different today. I'm going to give you my personal picks on the best and the worst holiday specials. The holiday specials that, at least if you're my age, and I'm 59, you grew up with, have changed considerably over the years. But let's take a look at not just the specials, but, you know, the sitcom episodes that always, as if it were law, feature a Christmas episode, and usually it's lame. I'm not looking for the middle of the road. I'm looking for the extremes here, and I've got some beauties for you. But in the meantime, wherever you listen to this podcast, leave me a comment, rate it, review it, and tell your friends about it. We are, of course, on Apple. We're on Spotify. CochranShow.com is where all the podcasts live until further notice. And you can follow me on Twitter at Cochran Show, Facebook at Cochran Show, Steve Cochran Show on Instagram, and even on LinkedIn at Cochran Show. So please follow me wherever you can as well on social media so we can keep you up to date on everything that's happening. Next week, we got an announcement. Got an announcement next week about a show. I know you're saying, Steve, you can't do a show. It's COVID. You can't do a show. We'll make the announcement next week and we'll explain. All right, so when we come back, here's what we'll do. We're going to take this break. We're going to come back. I'm going to give you the bad holiday shows first. So these are the ones that stand out, which may be memories. Some of these are so bad, they're great. But we'll come back and we'll do that next. Steve Cochran, this is Live from My Office. Live from My Office, sponsored as always by David Hochberg and Team Hochberg at 855-56-DAVID or 56david.com. You can get a free rate quote right there on the website. And by the way, if you go to the website, just flip through the testimonials. You're going to see words like smoothest refi ever, made me feel comfortable, a pleasant experience, made things clear and easy. They were responsible and accessible. Think about those words: smooth, comfortable, pleasant, easy, clear, accessible. I mean, those are words you don't normally associate with a financial transaction involving your house, but you should associate them with David Hochberg. Repeat customers all the time, including my own family. So whether it's an original mortgage, a refi, anything financial about your house, you need to go to David Hochberg, 855-56-DAVID. or 56david.com. Check it out. Feel free to tell them I sent you. 855-56-DAVID or 56david.com. Today on Live from My Office, the worst of the holiday specials. Some of these so bad they're good. This show in particular, I don't remember this show. Now, as I mentioned in the open, I'm 59, so Star Wars, when it first hit in the late 70s, I was a little too cool for Star Wars. It was more of a little kid thing. So it's sort of, I was in a gap for Star Wars. I get it. It's as big as anything's ever been in filmmaking. And they're very entertaining movies. But sci-fi, it just was never my thing. I see the movies. I like the movies. But it wasn't my thing. So I don't remember the Star Wars Holiday Special. But it happened. The backstory here is after the first movie was this breakout gigantic hit, and before they did the sequel, George Lucas got talked into doing a holiday special. And he called in some favors, and a bunch of people showed up that are just, well, it's almost inexplicable. The amount of drugs these people must have been taking when they did this. The special itself, and you can see the entire thing online, but the special itself opens with a 10-minute scene of Chewbacca's family grunting and screeching at each other. There's no subtitles. It's just 10 minutes of that. The whole premise is Han Solo is trying to get Chewbacca home for Christmas. But after that insane opening scene, the cast is revealed, which includes Harvey Korman. Keep in mind, this is the late 70s. So this is post-Blazing Saddles, probably post-Carol Burnett at that point, or maybe she was still on. But Harvey Korman, a big comedy star. Art Carney, a legend from The Honeymooners, still doing movies at that point. And future Golden Girl and Maude B. Arthur all were in this insane, alcohol-addled Star Wars Holiday Special. So here is where things begin for me. Chewie has a father who looks like an old Chewbacca. And the next door neighbor, I guess, is Art Carney. But Art Carney's basically an old pervert. So this is actually from the special. Art Carney, as a gift for the holidays, Life Day, as they call it. They don't call it Christmas. They call it Life Day. As a gift to Chewbacca's father, gives him what amounts to virtual reality porn circa 1978. The beautiful Diane Carroll, when she agreed to do this, I'm sure fired her agent as soon as she saw what it turned out to be. I'm only going to play a little bit of this for you because I'm actually creeped out by it. But picture a Wookiee in a chair. Wasn't that a band called that? A Wookiee in a chair? Picture a Wookiee in a chair, an old Wookiee, Chewbacca's father, creepy Art Carney, and Diane Carroll in this very uncomfortable clip.
I know you're searching for me. Searching. I am here. My voice is for you alone. I am found in your eyes only. I exist for you. I am in your mind as you create me. Oh, we are excited, aren't we?
See, I told you it was creepy. There's no way I can explain the holiday special, the Star Wars Holiday Special to you. You really have to see it for yourself, along with the very embarrassed reactions of the people that were in it. It's all over YouTube, for instance, if you choose to spend the time. And, honestly, you probably should. You probably should see this. It's just as bizarre as anything that's ever been done. All right, so happy Life Day to you. Oh, by the way, how does that end? Well, it ends in sort of the same cheesy way all holiday specials end, where a lesson is learned and everybody gets together to sing a song. There's Luke, there's Han Solo, and there's Carrie Fisher, who comes in to sing. And yeah, I've had just about enough of that. So yes, Chewie makes it home. And happy Life Day to all of us. It's kind of amazing. That holiday special was so bad, it's kind of amazing it didn't kill the whole franchise. All right, what else is on my list of the worst Christmas specials? Look, I'm not going to lie to you. I had a thing for Jan Brady, like most people my age, most dudes my age did. By the way, I met her years later. She turned out to be a complete pain in the ass. True story. But in the meantime, the Very Brady Christmas special took an odd turn when Mike, Dad, Mike Brady, the guy who talks too much and always has a lesson that he'd like you to learn. When Mike, the architect, gets trapped in a collapsed building. Oh, no. How will we get Mike out of the collapsed building? Well, it wouldn't be because Greg and Peter and Bobby, fully grown men at this point, it wouldn't be because they would get in there with their hands and dig him out. No. It would be when the lovely and talented Florence Henderson, Carol Brady, sings a song that everybody joins in on and saves the day as Mike Brady emerges from the rubble. No, I'm not making it up. And as the music changes, Mike Brady emerges, still wearing his hard hat, seemingly uninjured. The Bradys rush to hug him. Alice rushes to take care of the grandkids. And as Mike takes off his hard hat, you see what you would expect to see. His hair is still perfect, though maybe not quite as permy as it was before the building collapsed. So many specials So little time. Alf had a holiday special. Remember the weird-looking little giant-nosed alien whose planet blew up? What was it? The planet Melmac, I think, right? The planet blew up, and he ended up on Earth and on NBC. There was something called Nestor, the long-eared Christmas donkey. Mr. T and Webster. Mr. T and Webster did a holiday special. Webster, Emmanuel Lewis, right? But from the Strange Hall of Fame, it's hard to beat this one. Bing Crosby and David Bowie did a duet, which to this day, I don't care how old you are, you've probably seen it or heard about it. It may be the weirdest collection of major music stars that's ever been put together. I'm talking about the two of them, Bing and David Bowie. David Bowie was a big star at that point. Bing Crosby was, of course, a legend. The premise here is Bing is, for some reason, in like a castle kind of house in London, or he looks like he's house sitting for a friend, because, of course, that's what Bing Crosby would be doing. David Bowie knocks at the door and asks where his friend is that owns a house, because he lets him come over and play the piano, because clearly a rock star couldn't afford his own piano. So David Bowie comes in. The two of them pretend not to know each other. They talk a little bit about music, and they go over to the piano, and Bing joins David in a version of Little Drummer Boy, which is actually musically really, really good. But in the meantime, and it's not hard to understand, both of these gentlemen, they couldn't wait for it to be over.
They told me, ba-rum-pa-pum-pum, a newborn king to see, ba-rum-pa-pum-pum. Our finest gifts we bring, ba-rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum, rum-pa-pum-pum. Peace on earth, can it be? Years from now, perhaps we'll see.
I mean, it's pretty good, right? Yeah, it's pretty good, except it's David Bowie and Bing Crosby. I was trying to think of a modern-day equivalent of that. I don't really have one, but David Bowie in the modern-day equivalent will be played by, say, Marilyn Manson and Bing Crosby. Well, it'd still be Bing. They just bring him back from the dead, and it'd be Bing and Marilyn Manson. Here's an underrated one, though, and it's also from Bing Crosby, who, for some reason, apparently didn't have any producers that sat down in a meeting as they planned the show and went, no, that's not good. That'd be weird. Back in the 60s, there was a huge television show, a sitcom called Hogan's Heroes. And I wish I could give the comic credit who originally came up with the joke, but it went something like this. Who wouldn't want to be sitting in a pitch meeting that goes like this? I've got the perfect sitcom. It's World War II. It's a Nazi prisoner of war camp, and it's funny. The whole premise of this show, if you've never seen Hogan's Heroes, which most prominently featured, I guess, for folks that people might still know today, the late Richard Dawson. Richard Dawson of Family Feud, Kiss Everybody fame. Can you imagine Richard Dawson if he were let loose now with COVID? Good God, the entire planet would have it. But in the meantime, this Bing Crosby special, different from the David Bowie special, had a Hogan's Heroes twist to it. Hogan's Heroes and the German prisoner of war camp was run by a hapless commander named Colonel Klink, who's right-hand man and the only other guy that really got any decent screen time was a really overweight but lovable, hapless German soldier named Sergeant Schultz. They were played by Werner Klemperer and John Banner. And those two showed up on this Bing Crosby special, not just because they walked out of the crowd. Bing and company invited them to do Silent Night in German. I'm not making it up.
You know, this ancient guitar I have here happens to be an integral part of the tradition of Christmas music. It's the original instrument on which Silent Night was played for the very first time. That was on the 24th of December, 1818, in St. Nikolai Church in Hallein, Austria. And the composer, Franz Gruber, played it on this guitar because the bellows of the church organ were broken. They weren't working that night. We're indebted to the National Arts Foundation for the loan of this valuable piece of Christmas memorabilia. And now here we have Werner Klemperer and John Banner, and they're going to sing Stille Nacht, or Silent Night. in the language in which it was written and first sung on that Christmas evening many, many years ago. Here they are.
Yeah, you can't make it up. You can't make it up. The Hogan's Heroes cast gives you the two commanders of the Nazi prisoner of war camp to sing Silent Night on the Bing Crosby Christmas special. And those are the people that were judgmental about drug use? And those people were judgmental about young people? Come on. That's just a brief swing through of the holiday specials that traumatized me the most. Your list may be different than mine, but maybe drop me an email at thecochranshow@gmail.com and say, hey, Steve, you forgot about this one or that one. I'd love to hear from you. Or, on Twitter at Cochran Show, however you'd like, or come by the house. It's the holidays. But here's the deal. There's a lot of specials in sitcom episodes and things I thought were great Christmas entertainment. So we'll come back. We'll talk a little bit about those next. This is Live from My Office. You've heard me talk to him many, many times over the years on the radio. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about David Hochberg. David Hochberg and Team Hochberg. It's not his slogan, but it ought to be. David Hochberg, he just wants to save you a little money. The long form of David Hochberg is easy to access. It's every interview he's ever done. Or it's an interview he did with me, an interview or two or three, as a matter of fact, that you can find on my sponsors page at CochranShow.com. But my family has done a lot of business with David Hochberg. I have as well. I did a refi on my home equity loan. My daughter just finished up a refi on our house after doing the original mortgage with David Hochberg, and my sister's done 2 of those. Why is that important to you? Well, if I'm going to let my family get in business with David Hochberg, I certainly am willing to recommend it to you. I salute his continued support to the military, to the police, to the fire departments. And I'm telling you, every aspect of owning a home, he's got you covered. David Hochberg, Team Hochberg, 855-56-DAVID or 56david.com. Back on Live from My Office as we continue. I want to talk about the good Christmas specials. This is, again, just my opinion, but these are the ones I like. Could be a television episode or a bit or maybe even something bigger than that. But, look, I love It's a Wonderful Life. I'm sure you do as well. I love Rudolph and his little red nose and the Island of Misfit Toys. And there's a million of them out there. But here's a few that maybe you haven't thought of, or at least you haven't thought of in a long time. Alec Baldwin. Alec Baldwin is a very funny dude. Loony, but a very funny dude. And you may remember this classic Christmas moment from Saturday Night Live when NPR, National Public Radio, was mocked as it should be. The hosts are Margaret, Joe, and Terry. And boy, were they excited about their guest.
Please welcome the owner of Season's Eatings, Pete Schweddy.
Welcome. How are you?
Welcome, Pete.
We like the name of your store.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Oh. Now, did I pronounce your name correctly?
You sure did. Pete Schweddy.
Well, Pete, Terry and I have been looking forward to having you on the show because we know you're the master of all kinds of Christmas goodies. Tell us about them.
Well, there are lots of great treats this time of year. Zucchini bread, fruitcake. But the thing that I most like to bring out at this time of the year are my balls.
Balls. Tell us about your balls, Pete.
It's not just the Schweddy balls that Alec Baldwin makes funny for Christmas on Saturday Night Live. There was also a classic scene from Glengarry Glen Ross. Oh, but wait. What if they were elves?
Have I got your attention now? Good. because we're adding a little something to this month's toy contest. As you know, first prize is a shiny new toboggan. Anybody want to see second prize? Second prize is a box of candy canes. Third prize is you're fired. Everybody get the picture? You laughing now? Huh? Remember, boys and girls, always BBC closing. Always be cobbling, always be cobbling.
Ah, yes. Nothing says the holidays quite like an insane elf boss from the North Pole. We continue on with a clip from Curb Your Enthusiasm, the holiday edition. And happy Hanukkah to all those who celebrate. Larry David on Curb Your Enthusiasm is known for saying just the wrong thing, not at the right time or the wrong time, no, every time. Larry David and Larry, Mary, and Joseph. Larry's marriage is falling apart. He decides that his Christian wife might be impressed if he pays for a live nativity scene at the end of their driveway. The problem is, Larry speaks to Joseph in a manner that's, well, just not all that appropriate for the holidays. Listen.
This is fantastic. Look at this. This is great. I love this.
Thank you.
Ah, they're going to be so thrilled when they come home. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you. Mary. Shepherds.
It's our pleasure.
Joseph, let me ask you something.
Yes.
You mentioned something about some interest in food a little earlier.
Well, we did talk about a meal, yes.
You want me to get a little takeout thing for you happening?
That's fine. That's fine.
Chinese, deli, what do you like, Joey?
Yes.
Huh?
Yes.
Yes to both.
Yes to both.
You want both?
That'd be fantastic. Thank you.
I guess you build up a kind of a big appetite standing out here doing nothing, huh?
More than you'd think, yes.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, maybe I'll get you some little orange chicken.
Oh, yes, sounds wonderful.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
But you got to be careful. They got a lot of hot peppers in there. Don't eat the peppers.
I like the peppers.
You like the peppers?
I have the tongue for it, yes.
Joseph likes the peppers.
Yes, I do.
All right, very good.
I confess.
Oh, boy. That Mary, by the way, has quite the bod.
What?
Come on, Joey, between you and me. You and Mary, huh? You don't feel like it every now and then? What do you do?
No, you know what? We're leaving. That's it. Let's pack it up. We're leaving.
What? Come on, Joe.
I'm not going to stand for this. Don't Joe me. We're leaving. You will take it back. You will stand right here and take it back. Please, take it back.
Shut up, Mary. Get off me. Wait a second.
Ah, Larry. Oh, if you like funny sitcom Christmas episodes, how about something a little more tame, but highly entertaining? Friends had great writing, especially in the last few years, and Ross, who is usually whiny and annoying, turned out to be one of the funniest characters. Ross's little boy, Ben, wasn't all that interested in Hanukkah, even though Ross was Jewish. Ben was as well. So Ross wanted to meet his Christmas requirements with his son and maybe teach him a little bit as well. But when we went to the costume shop, well, they were all out of the good stuff.
I'm the Holiday Armadillo. I'm a friend of Santa's, and he sent me here to wish you a Merry Christmas.
What happened to Santa, Holiday Armadillo?
Santa was unavailable, so close to Christmas.
Well, come in, have a seat. You must be exhausted coming all the way from Texas. Okay, Ben, why don't you come open some more presents, and Santa, the armadillo, and I will have a little talk in the kitchen. There's a sentence I never thought I'd say.
What are you doing? You called everyone and said you were having trouble finding a Santa costume, so I borrowed one from a guy at work.
Thank you, but you gotta leave.
Why?
Because I'm finally getting him excited about Hanukkah, and you're wrecking it.
But I didn't get to shake my belly like a bowl full of jelly.
It's Friends with a classic holiday memory. When I think about the times of the Holiday Armadillo when I was a kid. Hey, Seinfeld's always good for a laugh and one of the great Christmas dysfunctional family moments of all time. I don't know about you. I've never celebrated Festivus, but, well, there's a reason. Really sounds like it sucks.
Many Christmases ago, I went to buy a doll for my son. I reached for the last one they had, but so did another man. As I rained blows upon him, I realized there had to be another way. What happened to the doll? It was destroyed. But out of that, a new holiday was born. A Festivus for the rest of us. That must have been some kind of doll. She was. The tradition of Festivus begins with the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. Now, you're gonna hear about it. You, Kroger, my son tells me your company stinks.
Oh, God.
Quiet, you'll get yours in a minute. Kroger, you couldn't smooth a silk sheet if you had a hot date with a babe. I lost my train of thought. And now, as Festivus rolls on, we come to the feats of strength.
Not the feats of strength.
Until you pin me, George, Festivus is not over.
Oh, please, someone stop this.
Let's rumble!
I think you can take him, Georgie.
Hey, come on, be sensible.
Stop crying and fight your father. Ow! Ow, I got it! This is the best Festivus ever!
Oh, yeah, it just takes me back to my own childhood. When it wasn't a holiday armadillo, it was fights with Dad. Ah, those are the good days. You know, really, when it comes down to solid holiday programming, there's one thing you can always count on, and that's the movie Elf. I have nothing to say about Elf other than I'm glad they did it. I think it's some of Will Ferrell's best work, and it's pretty much everything he does I like. But, you know, I mean, Elf, it's just a simple message, right? It couldn't be any simpler.
And guess what? I love you. I love you. I love you.
But I think the best way to wrap up this look back, if you will, at all of the good and the bad of holiday programming is to revisit that insane Star Wars Holiday Special. Because even though this technically was on the cutting room floor, this is a good way to end this. And, well, it should have ended that. Let's listen now as Chewbacca sings Silent Night, and happy holidays to, well, all of us.
This is ridiculous.
This is Steve Cochran, and this is Live from My Office. We'll come back and tell you about the charity for this featured episode next. Again, all of this brought to you by David Hochberg and Team Hochberg at 855-56-DAVID or 56david.com. Before we go on Live from My Office, each episode I bring up a charitable organization that's worthy of your giving, of your money or your time. Let's talk pets for a second with the great people from pawschicago.org. P-A-W-S, pawschicago.org. And if you don't live in Chicago or the greater Midwest, you can still obviously donate or just simply frequent the no-kill shelter in your town and help if you're touched by the issue of pets. Any time of the year, but certainly at this time of the year. And again, if you want to give, I can't think of anybody better. And by the way, they do get the coveted 4-star charity rating from Charity Navigator. It's pawschicago.org. And right now, thanks to private donations, they have a $75,000 matching, is up to the first $75,000 that's given during the holiday season. it will be matched dollar for dollar. So thank you, pawschicago.org, for the work you do every day. Remember, you can follow me on Twitter at Cochran Show, on Facebook at Cochran Show, on LinkedIn at Cochran Show, and on Instagram, it's Steve Cochran Show. Check out the website at cochranshow.com. All of the episodes of Live from my office start there and are archived there. And, of course, we're also on Apple and Spotify and every podcast platform you can think of. Help your mom and your dad, your uncle and your aunt, your neighbors. Help them figure out how to download a podcast if they're unclear. I don't want them to miss out on a single thing. And please subscribe if you haven't already, wherever you do listen, and rate and review what we do there. Email one last time, thecochranshow@gmail.com for anything on your mind. I thank you for listening. Next week, we're back with more Live from my office. Thank you to Ross Cochran. He's going to take it from here. See you next time.
30 years plus on the airwaves. You have turned your dial to me. Now you're tuned into my podcast. It's Live from my office, Steve. From Ithaca, New York to Carolina South, W. Cochran Steve. From Minneapolis and then Chicago twice, top-rated shows achieved. Sit back, relax, and now listen to my show. When or wherever you are, 'cause you're on the go. A-list celebs with some laughs and great info. Live from my office, the Steve Cochran Podcast Show. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No better place to be. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Subscribe and like for free. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Live from my office, Steve. So glad you're with me. It's Live from my office.
Thank you for listening to Live from my office, a service of Monkey Run Productions. All rights reserved. The podcast is hosted by Steve Cochran, and it's mixed, edited, and produced by me, Ross Cochran. Support the show by subscribing wherever you're listening and by telling your friends about it. Follow Steve on all social media channels, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. And make sure you check out this episode's show notes for relevant information discussed during the conversations. You can also email the show directly at thecochranshow@gmail.com with any questions or comments. And that's the best place to tell us about your favorite nonprofit so we can make sure we mention them on the next episode. Steve is available for corporate speaking gigs. He would love to MC your event. And occasionally, he's funny. Thank you for listening. Head to cochranshow.com for more.